to the Bama Media Network Fantasy Hockey Picks and Bets. I'm your host, DJ Mitchell, here to get the season started. It's so good to be back. I hope some of you listening are in the Discord with the Morning Skate podcast, and we've enjoyed a lot of very lucrative nights in preseason hockey, like the degenerates we are. There's just going to be me for this first show of the season, and probably for at least the near future. But again, I'm DJ Mitchell. For anyone new, I will be your host for hopefully all of the season. We're going to get right into it tonight with a 2-game slate to start the season. But before we get going, I'll address, I guess, if you're watching this video, I have a very new setup because I'm temporarily without an apartment. I will hopefully be moving into a new place and actually going to be designing kind of an office for myself for working from home, which I'll be starting soon. And all of this different podcasting and different stuff that I'll be doing this year. So this season, I'll be your host here. I'll be your host on the Morning Skate podcast. So with Matt Moody, we'll be doing, DraftKings, just coverage of every single slate that we can possibly get our hands on, but primarily Tuesdays and Thursdays. And I will also be doing a video type series. It will be the Hockey Assist Network is the name of it. I'll be tweeting out a lot about it, but essentially all of this audio stuff, which I know this has video as well, I'm going to be more trying to show exactly what's happening on the ice. So I don't want to dive into that and take up a bunch of your time. We want to keep the videos a bit shorter and the podcast a bit shorter this season. So I am going to get right into it with the 2-game slate. If you have any questions, you want to ask me anything on Twitter, I'm at DJ_Mitchell94, and I will be happy to go over anything. All I'll say again, the Hockey Assist Network will be all of this, but I will be trying to show video representation of what I'm talking about. Now, on a 2-game opening night slate, we're not going to have a ton of different stats and analytics to back us up. And with a ton of slate breaking news that broke today, we did get pushed back a little bit. We're not with props yet, and that's probably more to do with the COVID situation that seems to be plaguing Seattle. So we're not going to have a ton there. We're going to go over the games. I'm going to give you the news and the notes and go over the DraftKings slate a little bit more in detail than going over individual props. I think they're going to change a lot as this news breaks. And like I mentioned, it's still not there yet, unless if one last click. Nope, still not there. So we're going to get into it, though. Pittsburgh at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay will be going to unveil the Stanley Cup banner in their arena back-to-back. Very exciting. They're playing an extremely different look Penguins team. Just kind of going over the last preseason game for Pittsburgh when they had mainly a full roster. We saw a line one of Jeff Carter, Dalton Heinen, and Brian Rust. So as we can clearly see off the bat, not exactly the Penguins look that we're used to, but that does open the door for a few guys that might be able to make round up those fantasy rosters for us tomorrow as we try to take down the opening night slate. So this game, right now the lines are very in Tampa's favor at home, -195 to Pittsburgh +160. I just couldn't find myself telling anyone to take Pittsburgh in this matchup. I don't trust the goaltending. I don't really trust the defense, and I definitely don't think they have the offensive weapons with Crosby and Malkin and others out to get the job done. So I think Tampa wins this one pretty handily. Raising the banner, it's going to be a big night. Emotions will be high. I just don't really find myself liking much in this game at all. -195, you parlay that with a couple things, I could understand it, but it doesn't really seem quite worth it. I'd almost rather attack the over. 6 goals +100. I don't mind that at all. I definitely think that there's some offensive upside for both teams. And I think that, if Pittsburgh can find a couple goals, Tampa can definitely get you in there in this matchup. So I'm not really going to be too interested in that side of it. Let's just go right into it, though. Let's go right into this DraftKings daily fantasy slate. Not the biggest contest in the world, but there's a $50K to first on DraftKings. It's a $10 entry, I believe. Yeah, I have a free ticket right now, so it's not showing me. But yeah, so it's not overly expensive. They did price up some guys. They didn't price up everyone, but if you go and you take a look at the Penguins, we have guys like Kasperi Kapanen at 4,800. He should be line 2, power play 1. He's an exciting player. Oh, the other player I mentioned that is out is Jake Gensel, who's not going to play, and that seems to be a COVID-related incident. Dalton Heinen, who I mentioned on the first line, 3,300. I'm not extremely high on him, but he has had some rate shooting in the past where I think he could get you there as a kind of last in type of play. On Tampa, that's where a lot of people are going to go. It's really interesting to see their pricing. We have guys like Kucherov at 8K, which makes a lot of sense. Stamkos, Palat, Killorn, sub 6K. I think a lot of people will pivot over there. If we go to their last preseason game, We saw the normal power play unit of Kucherov with Point, Stamkos, Killorn, and Hedman. So I do think a lot of people are going to try to, put that together in some capacity in their lineups if they're not attacking the late game a little more heavily. Um, I think right now with what we already know about this game, it gives us a little more clarity. We kind of know the guys at Pittsburgh that are out. We know what Tampa's lines are going to be. So again, just to reiterate, Dalton Heinen up with Carter and Rust, Zucker, Rodriguez, and Kapanen are the top six. I really don't see myself dumpster diving on the Penguins in a matchup I already mentioned. I really don't love for them. I think that Tampa Bay is definitely the side you want to go after here. And with guys like Cirelli that should be in, with Stamkos and Killorn, I do think that might be a touch overlooked. And like I mentioned, a little bit cheaper. Cirelli not on that top power play does hurt his upside with them, but Stamkos and Killorn could be an overlooked kind of cheaper sub 6K stack that could definitely get there. Again, if you do not have the funds to get Kucherov, Point, and Palat, which I could see if you make enough lineups, you are going to have to have combinations of it if you think you're going to take down that 50K to first prize. In the other matchup, the late game, we have Seattle Kraken entering the league, going against the Vegas Golden Knights, the, two expansion teams. I'm really excited to see what Seattle can do. I wish we could see it, though, because it sounds like, and there's a lot of unclarity on this as I'm recording, which is about 9 Eastern time on the night before opening night. There's a lot of unclarity exactly what is going to happen with these players that have joined this COVID list. So right now we have Donskoy, McCann, Hansen, Alexiak, and already on the list, Kelly Youngkrok in some sort of a COVID protocol. Now, I could not begin to tell you what that's going to mean for them because it probably depends on their vaccination status more than anything else. And I don't have the COVID-19 protocol from the NHL in front of me. So we're not going to quite have all of the news there, other than the fact that we can expect probably a somewhat similar situation as they had in their last game, minus those players. So that would mean the first power play would definitely still have Jaden Schwartz, definitely still have Jordan Eberle, with Mark Giordano, who was just named captain. Wemberg was the other guy on that unit who in Florida, will probably remember him as being quite a good assist maker, but not really a shot generator. So I'm not really that interested in him as a one-off. Things could change, obviously, but I am not really that interested in playing too much Seattle in general. I think really I'll have a lot more Laner in net and less Seattle in general. They do and will definitely have some guys with some big upside, though, with all of these guys being out. So we might need to wait till tomorrow to figure out exactly, but I can almost guarantee there'll be a couple minimum salary plays from Seattle that might be able to get you that Vegas Golden Knight, Tampa Bay situation that you might be looking for in your lineup. So going over to Vegas, they also have some issues as far as COVID is concerned. Again, we're not positive on all of them. The only one we're sure on is Janmark, who I do not believe will play, but we don't really know yet. There was some situation with Marchessault. He said, Peter DeBoer said he's fine, though. He should be in, so I'm going to roll with that. We will have the Pacioretty, Stone, Stephenson line, Smith with Carlson, and presumably Marchessault, who was not in that practice but will play. And the third line of Peyton Krebs, Nolan Patrick, and Evgeny Dadonov. So, 3 lines up and down that I'm interested in myself. If we go to their last preseason game, we saw pretty similar power plays, I guess, except that not everyone was in, but Carlson, Marchessault, Smith, all with Alec Martinez on one unit. I hope that maybe that could come back together again. I think that line might get slightly overlooked by people that may not play as much. And pre NBA season, we might be able to get some people in these big contests that just want to play. Marchessault only at 6K could get overlooked, in my opinion. Riley Smith only at 4K. He had a huge playoffs. I'd be shocked if he's not pretty popular on this slate. So that's kind of where I'm going to be attacking on daily fantasy. And that's just going to kind of correlate right over to the props I'm going to like. I am not someone that tries to jam in a prop before I know all of the news. I mean, I would love Jared McCann at 2.5 shots. He's probably not going to play. So I'm probably going to have to look a little bit deeper into those before I really give a lot of strategy on that. One thing I did not mention, first slate of the season, we're already messing up a little bit. The line on this game is astronomically in favor of the Vegas Golden Knights. And I mean, I can't argue with it. Minus 250 for Vegas as of right now, plus 200 for the Kraken. I'm probably not going there. I really don't have a particularly strong lean on the over/under either. It's really hard to know how Seattle is going to play. I mean, we saw Dave Hextall. I mean, I don't really know what kind of coach he was fine in Philly. It seemed to be okay with having some pace. Then he goes to Toronto for a short period. Did he learn from that coaching staff? Um, and the Sheldon Keefe, and now they're going to maybe run a more fast-paced offense. I don't know. So I don't really know how these two teams are going to play in specific. I like Lanner here as a goaltender that I don't think is going to go overlooked by any stretch, but that's probably where I'm going. So I don't mind the under here, under 5.5 at -130, but I'm probably not taking it myself. I probably would rather just focus in on these props because I think we're going to get an edge there rather than these money lines, which seem to be pretty accurately priced. We don't have them yet. I can't really do much about it. So my plan is just to be on. It's actually my first day on my new job tomorrow, but after work, I'm going to try to be on Twitter, active as possible, letting people know what I'll be playing and going over it in the Morning Skate Podcast Discord if you want to jump in over there. Whatever you guys want, I'm going to try to do my best. I wish we could do better on this slate. I was really hoping by sometime, first slate of the season, DraftKings, give me some props. But hey, we're going to get back to it. We're going to hopefully have them for tomorrow, the Monster slate, the first real slate of the season. So one other thing I did not address, I know what you're probably thinking. This is not a hockey jersey. I will not have those until probably November 1st. I'm hopefully going to have them as all of this only jersey I have right now. I had to put it on. But without going too far, I think we're probably hitting the mark around where I want to hit. Thank you for jumping in on the first one. I'm going to be here all year. Please reach out to me on Twitter. Follow the Morning Skate Podcast. Follow the Hockey Assist Network. Let me know what you want to see. I've already posted a few videos on the Hockey Assist Network that are just basic, more DraftKings breakdowns of how to play there, and some other websites that I'm going to be gambling on this season as well. So if you have any questions, if you want to know more about anything, if you have hey, I don't know what these stats mean, show me what they mean. I'm going to, I'll do a video breaking them down, going into some detail, and then trying to show you what players are doing to produce that to happen. I think that's one thing that's missing in this community right now. Thank you again for listening. Follow the Mayo Media Network. Follow Pat Mayo. Follow all of us. There'll be more people contributing to this channel, but as of now, I'm kind of going to be running the show. So thank you again. Enjoy the slate, everyone, and we will talk to you soon.